Hello everyone, welcome to Zoho Creator Learning Table series. So this is me Preeti Venkatesh and I'm going to be the trainer of today's session. So to say about Learning Table series, it's a month-on-month session which is held at the first Thursday of the month. In this series, we usually take an industry and discuss about all the possible automations needed for that industry, and also we will make use of Creator as a solution in order to build that automation. In that flow, this month we are going to talk about Zoho Creator for media industry. So before I move on into the actual session, let me give you some housekeeping rules. All the attendees in the session will be on mute, and please post your questions in the question tab which is available in the left corner of your screen. And don't worry, a recording of the session will be sent to all the attendees, and please participate in the polls and the surveys that are going to be conducted. When I talk about polls, now my co-trainer will be initiating a poll. This poll is regarding the giving the testimonial about the webinar sessions we are conducting. If you are interested, please do answer the poll. Our team will reach out through the mail to discuss further. So my team will be initiating the poll now. So now let's move on into the actual part of the session. So this is going to be the agenda with which we will be driving you people throughout the session. First, we will discuss about introduction to media industry and what are the categories of media industry that are available in the real world. And for today's session, we took the category production management in this media sector. So we'll discuss about the actual flow involved in this production management process, and then we'll discuss about the process flow involved in the application that we are going to see in the live demo. And also we'll discuss about the features that are used to make this application more feasible, and we will see the live demo of the application, and we'll discuss about some extended use cases, and we'll wrap the session by summarizing it. So this is going to be the structure. So if you have any questions about the during the session, please post it in the question tab. My co-trainers will be happy to answer it. So now let's move on into the session. So introduction. When I talk about media, so as you all know, media is going to be the communication channel that connects the content with the audience. So this is the place where the information is delivered directly to the audience. So this media industry is broadly categorized into many different types. So when I talk about categories, there are few major categories I want to highlight in this session. So first category is going to be like print media, where all the journals, books, newspapers, everything in the printed format comes under it. And then we have the broadcast media like live telecast, live shows, reality shows. And then we have the digital media which we use in the day-to-day life, the film industry, music industry, gaming industry, advertising, news media. So it's a kind of broadly categorized into many different types. For today's session, we are going to concentrate on this category, film industry. So how the production is managed during a movie production. So that's going to be the major concept we are going to talk about. So in that flow, first we will discuss about the main process involved in this movie production. So this production process is broadly staged into three different stages. The first stage is going to be the pre-production. So before starting the production of a film, what are the things needed to be noted? And second is going to be that during the production, what are the things that are need to be noted? And at last, the last stage is going to be post-production. So in the pre-production stage, there are some certain places where automations is mandatory or that helps the production more convenient. So in that flow, the first is going to be script writing. Like we can make the writers and the editors to collaborate and work in the script writing process. And then we have to manage after completing the script. The next step is going to be managing the scenes and the dialogues that are involved in that particular film. And next step is going to be recruiting the cast and the crew who are going to process the particular scene or the dialogue. And at last, very important thing, budgeting. So these are the things where the pre-production has to be concentrated. So when I talk about the production, that is the during the shooting, we have to manage all the shooting schedules, and all the expense tracking, the day to day base expense, what is will be has to be tracked and noted somewhere in order to tally that with the budget that has been calculated. So this will be happening in the production stage. And last, in the post production, involves the editing. When I talk about editing, it involves all the audio editing, image editing, color gradients. So everything comes under this particular editing process. And then we have promotion, that is marketing activities like audio launch, other kind of promotional activities that are going to be handled. And last, it's going to be the distribution. So this is the major process the production team has to, or the production unit has to takes place. So in today's session, we are going to automate few process in this production state, production management. So first is going to be how the production team manages the budgeting and the expense tracking. We are going to see a solution that are built on Creator to manage this budget and the expense tracking of this production process. And then we will see how they are managing the cast and the crew and their shooting schedule with the help of Creator as a solution. So these are the things that we are going to see in the live demo of today's session. So in that flow, first we will discuss about the process flow or the modules used in the application that we are going to see. So we have named this application as Zilka Media Production. So in the Zilka Media Production, as I said before, we are going to broadly manage two things. One module is going to be budget and expense tracking for a production, and second is going to be the shooting schedules, which actors should come for the which scene and what is the location of the scenes. These are the things that we are going to track and maintain in our application. So when I talk about budget and expense, the first thing is to be like, what is the name of the project and what is the duration of the project. That is, here I have termed the film or a movie as the project. So we will be managing all the project informations in this project module, and also along with that we will manage the overall budget allocated for that particular project in this project module. And next is going to be the budget categories. When I talk about budgets, it'll be under different categories. Like when I say about categories, for example, it can be a logistics category, or it can be kind of miscellaneous, or salary of the actors. So there are so many categories where the budgeting has to be divided and allocated. So in this module, we will store all the names of the categories and the subcategories. And next, we have the actual budget module. For each and every category, what is going to be the budget for a particular project will be noted in this module. And at last is the expense module, where the day-to-day base expense will be tracked and it will be tallied with the budget that has been allocated for each and every category. So this is one module which we will see in the live demo of the application. And next is going to be the shooting schedules. So in order to create a shooting schedule, we need a database of all the actors who are going to act for a particular project, and all the scenes, the scene numbers, its location, everything has to be noted down in the scenes module. So these are the two mandatory modules needed to schedule the shooting. And next we have the schedules module, where we will be scheduling all the shootings, scenes and actors, and we will add these schedules into the Zoho calendar, which we can share it with all our actors in order to see and manage their schedules. So this is going to be the two very important modules where the automation is provided with the help of Creator as a solution. So now, before we see the live demo for these two modules, we will see and discuss about few of the features and integrations that are used to make this solution more feasible. So when I talk about features, first feature is going to be Canvas Builder. So Canvas Builder helps us to build the customized detailed view for a particular report. So in our case, we are going to use this Canvas Builder to build a module, to build a detailed view for a particular project, on clicking of which we can get to see the project details, like all the basic informations, the budget allocated and everything. And we will see the overall budget for each and every category, and we can see the overall expense for each and every category in a single click. For that purpose, we are using the Canvas builder. We will see in the live demo how it is built and how it's going to look like. And second feature we are going to use is going to be the integration creator. So here I'm using integration creator to connect two different applications without writing any lines of coding, and just by using the drag and drop option. So we have Zoho Creator where we manage all the shooting schedules, and then we have Zoho Calendar where we are going to display all the shooting schedules and we are going to share it with each and every actor. So I'm using integration creator to connect my Zoho Creator and Zoho Calendar. So for that purpose, we are going to build that solution. Also, we'll see in the live demo how it is built. And third feature we are going to use is going to be cloud function. So cloud function is going to be a serverless function which is solely supported by the creator's infrastructure. In our case, we are using cloud function Java to build something called as color randomizer. So here, whenever, as I said before, whenever I'm just creating a calendar in the Zoho calendar, I can specify the color for each and every project differently. So for that, I'm using the color randomizer. So once I create a project a different random color will be generated as a calendar. And when I create project B, it will be created with a different color in the Zoho calendar. For that purpose, I'm writing a very small cloud function, Java function named as color randomizer. And next feature is going to be scheduler workflow. In Zoho Creator, we have a type of workflow called as scheduler workflow, which helps us to provide the scheduled action without any user input. When I talk about the scheduler workflow, we can just create that in two different ways. One is like we can specify the date and time directly, or we can specify choose a particular date and time field from my form, and I can schedule it. Here in our use case, we have used this scheduler workflow to send a reminder to all my actors on a day before the shooting schedule, so that they will get notified about the date and the time automatically. For that purpose, we are using this scheduler workflow in our application. And next, last feature is going to be BI and Analytics Creator. So here, since we are going to track all our budget and expense used for a particular production management, we need the proper analytics to keep a track of what is happening in our production unit, right? So for that purpose, we are going to build the analytics with the help of BI and Analytics Creator, and we will embed the particular dashboard that we have created into our application. For that purpose, we are using the BI and Analytics Creator, which we will see in the live demo as well. So now we have discussed about all the features involved in our application and all the process flow involved in our application. Now let's move on into the actual demo of the application that we are going to see. So this is my creator dashboard. So as I said before, we have built an application called as Zilker Media Production. So this is how the application will look like. So I'll just walk you through the modules and the forms first, and then we'll move with the flow. So first we have a dashboard where I have embedded my BA and Analytics Creator dashboard. And then I have the projects module where we capture all the detailed information about each and every project. And then we have the category budgets, like for a project A, what type of category and what is the budget allocated for the category will be noted using this form. And then we have the expense tracking form. So each and every day of the shooting, what is going to be the expense will be noted in this daily expense form. And then we have the actor information form. And then we have the scenes, like for project A, what is going to be the scene, what is the scene location, all other details about the scene will be noted in this particular module. And then we have the shooting schedule, which will be captured in my Zoho calendar. So this is the Zoho calendar account. Each and every time I create a project, it will get added over here. So these are the forms that are involved in my application. Now let's see in detail about each and every module with the help of the flow. So first we will discuss about how we are automating this budget and expense tracking. For that, as I said before, we need projects, we need budget categories, we need budget form, and then the expense form. So first we have the projects form where I'm going to add a project newly. So by giving the project name, start date, end date, total budget allocated, and all other things. So let me give the project name as Dreams. And it's going to, the shooting will be starting from 14th of December, and it's going to be a 3-month shooting. It'll be completing on Feb. The total budget I'm going to give for this is 50,000 INR, and I'm just giving a project in charge named as John. And the project description, it's going to be a mini series with 10 episodes. So I'm just giving a sample description. And for now, the project status is under budgeting. So now when I click on the project, it will get added into my report. So you can get to see the project details with its budget. And at last, we have something called as calendar ID and calendar color, which will come to this in the next module. So now we have our project ready. And next thing is like budget categories. So this is what we have discussed. So for that purpose, we have a separate form under reference called as all budget categories. When I talk about budget categories, it involves renting an equipment, giving the pay for the personals, what is the cost, location cost, post production. So these are the budget categories that I have just pre-recorded in my master form named as budget categories. And similarly, we have budget subcategories under equipment, what type of equipment, under personal, for whom you're going to pay, and same way for post production, editing or sound design. So these comes under the subcategories. So I'm just storing the categories and subcategories in the two different master modules. And now let's move on into the budget for each and every category. So first I'll be choosing the project. So let me take the newly added project, My Dreams. So for this particular project, the total allocated budget is going to be 50,000, which we gave while creating a project in the project module. And next we have something called as total remaining budget. This is nothing but once I create a budget for this particular category, it will just automatically subtract that amount from the total amount and it will add over here. And then we have the remaining category allocated budget and the actual category informations. So let's say for the budget category, I'm just going to choose the equipments, and in the subcategories I have the list of the equipments that we just saw in the budget subcategory form. So camera, drones, I'm going to use lenses, that's it. So like we can just give the description like rental equipments. And for this particular equipments category, I'm going to allocate a budget of 5,000. So now we can get to see the auto calculations which is happening on user input of category allocated budgets. For this purpose, we have used the simple calculations with the help of form workflow. So now, since I gave the category budget as 5,000, it has been subtracted from the total budget and the remaining budget is calculated. And similarly, the remaining category, like category wise allocated budget is also described over here. So now when I click on the submit button, this will get added into the projects module. So now let's go back to the project modules. When I click on the detail view of this particular project, I can get to see a canvas builder, which is used to customize my detail view. So I can get to see all the project information and the budget just now we have added, along with the category, subcategory, and description. So documentation on how to create this canvas builder will be shared by my co-trainer. You can refer to that as well. For now, I'll go to the edit mode and show you where we can get to see this canvas builder. So in the edit mode, under my projects report, in the right corner, I can get to see something called as detail view, where I can create the custom layouts. This is the place we have created this particular canvas builder. So this is what we are just getting to see in the detail view of my projects report. So let me refresh it. Yeah. So this is what we're going to get. We are just getting to see in the projects report. Now let me try to add one more budget and show you how it's getting reflected. Similarly, let's say like for the personal, for the all my actors, editors, directors, writers, I'm going to give a payment. and for them I'm allocating a budget of 15,000. So now I can get to see the total, and the remaining category total is getting auto calculated. Once I click on the submit button, it will get reflected in my detail view. So each and every production unit in charge can get to see the detailed report of what is the budget and what is going to be the expense. Now we have two budgets allocated. Let's try to add an expense. So for the same, we have a daily expense form. So in this daily expense form, when I choose my project information, the total allocated budget will get auto populated. And then when I choose my expense category, as I said before, we just added the budget for only two categories. One is equipment and another is personal. So those are the things that are getting populated over here. Now let's say subcategory category as equipments for drones. I'm just taking the rental for the drones on 13th of December, and I'm just giving the description for the same. And the amount I have spent is going to be around 2000. So now in this budget versus expense module, you can get to see the total category wise allocated budget and the remaining category wise allocated budget. Since I have used 2200 for this particular drone, it is just getting subtracted from this category allocated budget and it's getting reflected in the remaining category budget. Now if I click on the submit button, it will get added into my projects module as well. So you can get to see the expense which has got added now, and also in the budget I can get to see the remaining category allocated budget as well. So once it's become zero or getting the negative value, then budgeting can take a review of it and they can add more budget for this particular expense. So this is how we are managing the category wise budget and the expense for each and every project in my production unit. And also under reference, I have a report for all the category wise budget for each and every project as grouped. So for Demon, for my memories, and also for all the daily expense, we have a report. So from here as well, we can get to see all the reports for the budget and the expense. So this is how we are managing the budget and the expense for each and every project. So that is the first module that is involved in our application. And the next module is going to be the shooting schedule. In order to manage the shooting schedule, we need the actors information, scenes that are involved in each and every project, and then the schedules that we are going to make, and it will get reflected in the Zoho calendar. So this is what is going to be the flow that is involved in managing the shooting schedules. So now let's move on. So as I said before, the first module is going to be the actors information, that is the actors actual database. So when I click on the new, it will ask me the basic information about the name, email, phone number, address, what type of roles they are recruited for, their biography, their image. Let me try to add a actor. And I'm giving a email address, a phone number, a sample address. And the roles are going to be, is going to be the lead actor as well as is going to do the actions as well. So if you want to give any biography, we can add it over here, and we can add the image for that particular person as well. I'm just adding a dummy image. Yeah, the person has got added into the actors module. This is how we are managing all the actors information over here. And next is going to be the scenes information, like what scene is involved and what is the location of the scene. So those things will be added in this scenes database or scenes module. So for that, I'm choosing before that in the scenes module, only the projects that has crossed the budgeting stage will get displayed over here. So let me try to change the status of the newly added project as in progress. That is, the production is in progress. So now if I go to my scenes module, I can get to add the particular project. And the scene name is going to be episode 1. And description is going to be a horror scene. And let me give you the sample location where the shooting particular scene is going to be shooted. And then I'm choosing the actor who are involved in this particular scene. Let me try to add two actors, and they are going to come for this particular scene. And if you have any notes, we can say that and the scene has been planned perfectly. So now I'm just clicking on the submit button, the scene will get added. So next thing is going to be like how we are going to manage the shooting schedules. For that purpose, we have a separate shooting schedule module. So before we move into the shooting schedule, let's see how we are going to how this schedule is going to get reflected in the Zoho calendar, and then we'll try to add a shooting schedule. So whenever I create a project, at the end I can get to see two things, that is going to be calendar ID and the calendar color. So this is nothing but this ID is going to be every time I create a project, a calendar will get created for that particular project name in my Zoho calendar. So for this purpose, we have used something called as integration creator. A detailed documentation on how to create the integration creator will be shared in the chat. You can refer to that in order to build the integration creator. Yeah. So I have just dragged and dropped my creator module and the calendar module from this place. So here, whenever I create a record, that is, whenever I create a record in my projects module, a calendar will get created in the Zoho calendar, and the calendar ID will get updated in the particular projects module. That's what written behind here. So whenever I'm creating a record, a calendar will get created, and the calendar ID will get updated in the particular record. So let me try to create a calendar and show you. I mean, create a project and show you. Let me try to create a project as my dreams 2. And I'm giving a date from today till 30 and total budget, project in charge. And once I click on the submit button, my dreams 2 project will get added as a calendar over here with a different color code. So let me submit it and show you. So it has got submitted. So when I refresh my Zoho calendar, I can get to see the project has been created, and it's in the color code green. So as I said before, we are using the cloud function Java in order to create this color randomizer. Let me show you that code as well before I show you how it's happening. Under the workflows, we have something called as function. In the functions, we wrote something called as color randomizer. This is a very simple Java function, just with 3 lines of code, and which is generating a random red, green, blue color, and it's helping us to create the color code for each and every calendar. So this is how I have created the green color for this particular calendar. Similarly, when I refresh my projects module, I can get to see the calendar ID as well getting updated over here. Once the calendar has got created, I'm just updating the calendar ID in a separate field in order to manage all my shooting schedules. Because once I create a schedule, it should get reflected in the particular calendar, right? For that, I'm using the calendar ID. So now let's try to create a schedule. So let's try to create a schedule for my dreams 2 project, and the scene, sorry, my dream project, and the scene, let's say like scene number 10. Automatically the location of the scene will get populated, and I'm just choosing the actors for whom I'm going to schedule. Since this particular scene has 2 actors, for only one actor I can schedule it for one time, so I'm just using a schedule over here. Status is planned. The shooting schedule will start from 14th of December, and it will end on 16th of December. So it's going to be a 2-day shoot. So once I click on the submit button, this particular schedule will get updated in my Zoho calendar. Now we can get to see the schedule. So when I click on it, I can get to see the actor's name and their information. My location and informations will get displayed over here. So I can just simply click on the 3 dot, and I can share this with my particular actor so that they can get to see all the schedules for the particular project they have recruited for, and they can manage the schedule as well. Similarly, whenever a shooting schedule is being done, we have something called as scheduler workflow. So let's say like the shooting has been scheduled from 14th to 15th. So on 13th of December, a reminder notification will be sent as an email to all my actors, so that they will get reminded about the schedule which is going to be held tomorrow. So under workflows, we have schedules. A detailed documentation on how to create the scheduler workflow will also be shared. You can refer to that to create it. So in this, we have a reminder where I'm just sending an email to my actor's email. So just a reminder to say that the shooting has been scheduled for the December 14th, and make sure for their availability. So for that purpose, I'm using the scheduler workflow. So this is going to be the module. Also in the reference, I have all the shooting schedules we have done along with the calendar ID, so that we can refer in the future. So this is all about the application I want to talk about. So we have managed, automated the budgeting and expense tracking process, and also the shooting schedule process in a more easy way. And at last, we are going to discuss about the analytics part. So BI and analytics creator. So since we are managing all the budget and expenses, it is mandatory for us to see the analytics in a very detailed way, since we need to have a track of what is happening in our application, right? So for that purpose, we have created a solution with the BI and analytics creator, which is available in the creator dashboard. So you can get to see all the reports I have embedded from the application we saw till now. Like in our application we saw, we had the projects module, category wise budget, subcategories, budget versus expense. So I have just created few reports with my convenience, like total budget versus the project. And also we have, I'm sorry, let me close it. And also we have the expense tracking graph stats for that. And also we have the category wise budget stats. So I'm just simply creating these reports, and have created a dashboard out of it manually. And when I click on the share option, I can get to see something called URL or permalink. I've just embedded this particular URL in my Zoho Creators dashboard. So whenever I do a change after every 3 hours of schedule, this will get automatically changed in my Zoho Creators dashboard. The main purpose of using this BA and analytics is I can get easily expand and see the reports every time I want to see. And then I can just get the insights using the Zia insights, like behind this particular graph, what is the data available. So those things we can get it over here. And whenever I want, I can change the uh, visual effects of all my charts. I can get to see it. And also I can just sort it according to my x-axis and the y-axis. So these are the few things I can do. Also, if I want to see what is the data available behind this particular record, it will just open the a complete table behind this particular report. And also if I want to export it, I can export it as a Excel or PDF or image, and I can do a printout and have a track of everything that is happening. So in here I'm just creating three charts for my convenience. So first chart is going to be budget versus expense category wise, and second chart is about the project budget for each and every project, what is the total budget allocated. And then I have a small pivot table for seeing, for just visualizing all my shooting schedules and the daily expenses that has been calculated in for each and every day of the shooting. So for that purpose, I'm using BI and analytics creator. A documentation on how to create and use this BI analytics creator will be shared. You can refer to that as well. So this is all about the live demo I wanted to showcase you today. If you have any questions regarding that, you can post it in the question tab. So before we summarize the session, let us just quickly discuss about a few of the extended use cases that we can think about while in this media industry. So the first use case I want to talk about is actor management. In our application, we just saw a minute module where we manage only the actor's information. We can extend that and we can create a complete actor recruitment process itself, like from managing the actor profile database, casting for the calls and creating calling them for the auditions, audition recruitment, their availability and scheduling for the shooting, the contract management, a common communication hub between the production unit and the actors, and all the travel and accommodation for the actors can be managed. And then event planning, so when I talk about event planning, let me give you an example. We have the promotional activities in the post production stage, right? So what is the press conference we are going to hold, or audio launch we are going to hold? We can manage all the event planning accordingly with the help of providing a solution for that particular scenario. So this is one use case, actor management. And next we can talk about this content writing and review management. As I said in the first thing, the pre-production, the first stage is going to be script writing. So we can just automate that process by by helping them collaborate the writer and the editor with the help of a solution, and we can manage the version control of a particular script, and we can manage the calendar and the scheduling for the writing and the editing. Quality assurance can be done. We can manage the campaigns before posting the script online, or we can just schedule and publish a script in a social media, and we can monitor its effects in the social media as well. So these are the modules involved in content writing and review management use case. And next is going to be the vendor management. So every time I just rent an equipment, I need a particular vendor who will provide the best equipments for my particular shooting. So for that, we can manage all the vendor onboarding process. I can manage the inventory where I can manage all my own equipments and the rented equipment database. I can manage the contract between the production unit and the vendor, performance tracking, a common communication hub, and we can integrate it with other Zoho products for invoice and payment processing. And also we can manage the rights and the licensing management. So these are the modules that we can automate in this particular use case, vendor management. So these are some of the extended and other use cases I want to discuss before I wrap the session. Now let's quickly summarize it and then we'll wrap the session up. So in this today's session, we discussed in detail about how we have used the canvas builder to see all my project budget and expense in a very customized view. And also we discussed about a small Java cloud function in order to create a color randomizer for Zoho calendars. And then we use the integration creator without any line of code. We have just integrated Zoho Creator with Zoho Calendar to manage all my shooting schedules. And then we discussed about the scheduler workflow, for with which I'm just sending the regular reminders to all my actors. And at last, we discussed about BA and Analytics dashboard, which helps us to get a detailed view about all the analytics that are available in my application. So this is what we saw in the today's session. So now, before I wrap it up, so we have some upcoming series coming up. On December 14th, we have a series called as Creator Tech Connect series. This is also a month-on-month session, which is held in the second Thursday of the month. So this month, we are going to talk about recap and release update sessions part 3. The registration link for this particular upcoming session will be shared in the chat by my co-trainers. You can you can register using that, and also it's a recurring session, and you can also scan the QR code available over here to register for that particular session. So in that flow, next learning table series is going to be handled in the next new year, which is on 11th of January. For the next year also, we have planned this 12 months 12 industries concept. So please do register for that particular session as well for the next year using the QR code available over here. And also a registration link will be shared in the chat by my co-trainer. You can just register from there as well. If you have any questions, you can post it in the question tab. I'll be leaving the session open for a few more minutes. And also, if you have any questions post the session, please contact us using training@zohocreator.com. I'm leaving the session open for a few minutes. Please post your questions. It will be answered by my co-trainers. And also, a survey link will be shared in the chat. Please do give your feedback about the webinars that are conducting with the help of the survey link. It will be helpful for us to move on into the next session. We will meet again in the next new year with the next new interesting series of session. Thank you.